Hello there guys, it's Reconnecting here, back again on a video, and today I'm going to do What If Deku Was Abandoned, part 2, hope you enjoy it. So there is no recap. If you want to know what happened last part, go click the I button right here. But before we start this part, I have to address something. Last part I did a mistake, or two, depend, and it's about the summer vacation. I did say that it will be 3 months. In actuality, it's only 14 days in Japan. So the timeline will change, but the events stay the same. So when Deku fought the villains, it will not be after a couple of weeks. It will be only after a couple of days. And the summer vacation, of course, will change from 3 months to 40 days. And I think that covered the changes, so let's begin. So after Deku's encounter with Nejire and her telling him about how to use her power, he started testing it in his break. Although it was hard, but after a couple of days he was able to float, but only a couple of feet. But this is still progress in his eyes. And because he's training all on his own without no one's help and doing his free time, it took him 2 weeks to be able to fly properly. And before you ask, yes, sometimes he encountered Nejire, but because he's busy with his own work and she's busy with her work or training with the Ryuko, they don't have enough time to talk. Even though Nejire wants to talk to him, she can't, because whenever she spots him, the second she look away, he disappears. And Deku tried to copy her Nejire wave, but it's way harder than he thought. So this game of cat and mouse stopped when Deku was on his day off, and once again he encountered a villain. And this time he was taken hostage, because the villain was desperate. He's going against Nejire and Ryuko. So when he grabbed Deku with a headlock, he threatened to kill him. But when Nejire saw Deku, she told him, "Oh, so it's you again. Why do we always meet whenever there is a villain?" Deku sighed and replied, "I don't know. Fate maybe?" The villain was dumbfounded. He's almost like he isn't here. He shook Deku and told him to shut up. Then Nejire asked, "So do you need help?" Deku shook his head and told her, "I got this." Then he kneed the villain in the stomach, forcing him to let go. The villain got on one knee and asked Deku, "You have a power-up quirk, kid?" Deku replied, "Nope, I'm quirkless." Quirkless. Then Deku knocked him out. Then Nejire tell him, "Are you sure that was necessary?" Deku once again shook his head and tell her, "Nah, but I like to do it. It's better if they are unconscious. They will not cause any more problems for the time being." And during this exchange, Ryuko started watching Deku carefully. She still can't believe that a quirkless kid can have this much power. So she thinks he's lying. So she flies down and returns to her human form and congratulates Deku on doing a good job for saving himself. Deku simply just nod. Nothing more, nothing less. And she thinks he's a bit rude, but for some reason Nejire is really attached to him. Does she see something that she don't? So she started thinking of a way how to talk to Deku and learn more about him. For Nejire's sake, because she started to get attached to her. They don't have the same relationship as the anime yet, but they are making their way there. Then she remembered vividly what Deku told the villains when they first met, that he wasn't able to train properly for the last couple of days. So she thinks she will invite him to her agency. She will learn more about him, plus she wants to know the extent of his power. So she told him that. At first he refused. Without giving her explanation, he just doesn't want to go with her. But after she told him that she knows that he wasn't able to train properly for the last couple of weeks, wouldn't he benefit more training with a pro hero? Maybe he can learn a thing or two? And that piqued Deku's interest, but he isn't aboard fully yet. And the final push comes from Nejire just being herself, telling him that Ryuko is a great teacher and he will definitely learn a thing or two. So he accepts. Plus Deku felt something weird about Nejire. Her attitude in general is weird. He can't tell if she's being honest or just really good at lying. But in the end he gives in because he will lose nothing. In the opposite, there is a high chance he will learn something. So he go with them to the agency. So when they arrive, the heroes that work there find it a bit weird to see a kid here. And they found it really suspicious that he is going to spar with Ryuko. So a small crowd gathered to see the fight. Then Ryuko tells Deku to not hold back. She wants to see what he's made of. Deku replies, "As you wish," while cracking his knuckles. Then he leaped at her and tried to fight her. And Ryuko is amazed with Deku's speed. But she realized that he lacking in technique. He's almost throwing punches randomly with the hope of hitting her. And some heroes realized that and start doing some comments. like if he did this or do that, and Deku is listening to them, and in the middle of the fight he tried to improve his technique, and Ryuko catch on that. Even though Deku is a bit rude, he's a great listener. Then she wanted to test how strong he is, so she transformed to her dragon form, stopped dodging Deku's attack, but this time blocking them, and she realized that Deku delivered quite a punch. But when she tried to see if he can dodge, she took him by surprise and landed a punch. Of course, she was holding back. She knows that she's fighting a kid, a powerful one but still a kid. So this punch sent Deku flying toward the wall, but right before he hit it, he stopped midair, shocking everyone. Then Nejire said out loud, "So he was able to copy my move." The other heroes demand explanation, and she tells them what she mean. Ryuko, on the other hand, is really suspicious and surprised. This kid is strong, fast, durable, and he can fly right now. He must definitely have a quirk. So when Deku saw how distracted, he fly at her and tried to let her punch, but she's stronger than him, so eventually he lost. And Ryuko was also surprised to see how long he was able to fight. For a 13-year-old boy, he showed a lot of promise. So while resting, Nejire approached Deku and she started asking him questions. How long it took you to learn how to fly? How long can you fly? Did you also copy my other move? Deku backs off because she was really close to him and started answering her question. Then Ryuko chimed in and tell him, "You are pretty strong for a kid, so tell me the truth, what is your quirk?" Deku sighed and tell her, "I already told you, I don't have a quirk." Then she asked him, "Can you explain all of this? Super strength, able to fly, super speed." Deku smirked and tell her, "There is another way for humans to get stronger, and I found it. And that's all what I'm going to tell you." So Ryuko got intrigued about Izuku. He's super strong but without a quirk, and he can fly. She can't believe it, but she doesn't feel that Deku is lying, because the way he said to her that he found the other way is almost like Nejire, completely honest. Well, almost. He still wants to keep the secret of this strength to himself. Then she asked him for his name. He tell her Izuku. Both of them stay silent for a second, then she tell him, and Deku shook his head and tell her, "Just Izuku." Ryuko immediately catch on that and realized that something bad happened to his family, or vice versa, something bad happened to him because of his family. But Nejire is a bit slow to catch on that, so she started asking him, "Why don't you have a last name? Do your parents even have a last name?" A look of pure rage formed on Deku's face and tell her, "I don't have a family, not anymore. Thanks for your time, but I have to go." Then he just walked out. Nejire was frozen after seeing his face, and she felt sad and guilty. She thinks she took her question too far. Ryuko tried to comfort her and tell her it's not her fault, but Nejire knew if she kept her mouth shut, this will not happen. So after Deku left, he was pissed for a few hours, but eventually calmed down because why bother? Nejire, on the other hand, still felt guilty. So fast forward to the end of the week, and it's the end of summer, so Deku have to go back to his city, but before he drove off, he was stopped by Ryuko. She apologized on her and Nijire's behalf if they step out of line. Deku shook his head and tell her it's okay. It's just I don't like to talk about the topic. And I'm sorry if you feel guilty. So just drop it. No harm, no foul. She thank him, then she tell him, "I hope Nejire will be okay." She was upset the past week. She felt really guilty about what she told you. I tried to comfort her but nothing worked. Sorry if I'm keeping you here. You can go. Deku just nodded and returned to his city. But unbeknownst to her, what she told her actually bothered Deku a bit. Even though he's cold to people and he's not a social person, he only does that because he don't want to get hurt or betrayed again. Plus, you guys want a ship between Deku and Nejire, so this is the only way. So when Deku returned to his house, he tried to forget about what Ryuko told him, but he can't. He feels guilty because he's not the type of person that hurt innocent people, and he actually started to believe that Nejire is, well, a good person. So he started thinking of what to do until he fell asleep. So it's next day, and he have to return to school, sadly, and he's still conflicted of what to do. Should he try to talk to Nejire, or stay away from her until she forgets? But his string of thought was cut off by the teacher calling for him. Actually, this is the fourth time he called for him. So Deku snapped out of it. He looked at him, telling him, "Yeah." The teacher tell him, "Please pay attention. This is the fourth time I tried calling for you." "Yeah, sorry about that." Everyone was frozen. Did Izuku just apologize? Something bad must happen. Plus, he's not the type of person to space out. But then again, he's just quirkless, so they don't care. So let's switch to Nijire's perspective, and she still feels bad. So her friends, especially Mirio and Tamaki, ask her if she is okay. She gives them a half smile and tell him, "Yeah, she's just tired." They tell her if she need to talk, they are here. She nods and went on with her day. So let's return to Deku and fast forward to the end of the day, or when he just got out of school. He's still thinking of what to do, then he said, "Ah, screw it." He ran out to school, make sure that no one follow him, and fly toward UA. And from afar I can spot Nejire. She's looking at the ground looking defeated, so she didn't see Deku coming toward her. But when he fly down, she noticed him. She was surprised to see him, but once she remembered what she told him, she felt really bad. So at first Deku finds it a bit awkward because he knows nothing about her, so he tried his best to make sure that she understands that it's not her fault. Sure, her question was a bit personal, but she had nothing to do with his reaction. She tried to blame it on herself and make a bit of a scene. Then Deku tell her, we are making a scene right here. Let's go and find a place more private to talk. And I forgot to mention, Mirio, Tamaki and a few of her classmates saw her with Deku. And they asked between themselves, who is that green haired boy? And did he just fly? Their first thought is to follow them, but Mirio stopped them and tell them, let's give them some space. So after Nejire and Deku find a good place to talk, Deku explained once again it's not her fault. Actually, it's the opposite, he need to thank her. He did learn something from fighting Ryuko, but Nejire is a bit hard-headed, so she still feel a little bit guilty. Then Deku tell her, look, I'm not that good with socializing, so my gestures are not as normal people, so don't feel bad if I did something wrong, alright? Nejire understand that because she's not normal either, and she tell him that. Deku reply, yeah, I already figured that out, so don't feel bad, you did nothing wrong. Nejire not still feeling a tiny bit guilty, but not as much as before. Then Deku tell her he have to go, he will be late for work. But Nejire stop him and ask him, will he work in Ryuko City in the summer? He reply, maybe. Why? Then she tell him, you are in middle school, right? Deku nod. She continues, so next year will be your last year in middle school, and I assume you want to go to UA. Deku never thought of that, but maybe, he tell her. So she tell him, you will benefit a lot if you train with Ryuko. Deku cannot deny he did learn a thing or two from her. Then he tell her, is that okay? Can you actually do that? She reply, yeah, I can tell her, and I'm pretty sure she will accept. So give me your number. What? Deku was surprised. Nejire tell him, your number. When and if you are in her city, call me and we will train. Sure, why not? Deku replied, and he gave her number. Both of them felt a bit awkward, so Deku tell her, so I have to go. See ya. Then he start floating. She tell him, you cannot use your power. It's illegal. Deku tell her, well, it's illegal to use quirk. I don't have a quirk, so... She smiled and tell him, yeah, I think you're right. So Deku flies off happy to see everything turn out alright, and he's shocked about having a girl's phone number. Plus, she's cute. And after he said that, his face turned red. Same goes for Nejire. She can't believe that she asked for his number. After that, nothing happened, so let's say fast forward to the next day. When Nejire arrived at UA, her classmates are asking her who is that green hair boy. She'll tell them, you saw him? They nod and tell her, well, he was flying, so it will be hard to miss him. So they ask again, who is he? She tell them, just a friend, but they are not buying it, because she's back to her old self. So just talking to a friend change her mind? Nejire's face turned red, and they are relentless, they want answers. And their teachers tell them to shut up and tell them about the school festival, and they have only a month to prepare, or 3 weeks. And Nejire's first thought was, will Izuku be there? And her face turned red because of that. The teacher asked her if she's okay. Her face is red. She told him, yeah, I'm alright. Then she looked at Mirio giving her a grin. She asked him what? He shook his head and told her nothing. So fast forward to lunchtime, and she decided to call Deku and ask him if he want to go to the sport festival. She was hesitant, but she called him. But in the other end of the line, Deku was doing his own thing, sitting alone. Then his phone rang. Everyone was surprised to see his phone ringing. They thought that he's a loner, so who would call him? And they are more suspicious when they saw Deku's face turn red after he picked up the phone. So Deku answered. Nejire asked if this is Izuku. Deku replied, well, I did give you my number yesterday, so yeah, you're speaking to Izuku. So do you need something? Nejire asked him, does he know about the sport festival? Everyone knew about the sport festival. So he told her, yeah, I know. What about it? She asked him, is he free that day? He think for a second, tell her, yeah, I think I will. Why? Why did you come to see the sport festival? He tell her, I don't know, there's a lot of people, and I am not a crowd guy. Then she tell him, but you will see a lot of quirks in action, and maybe you will find a way to copy them like you did with mine. Plus, I really want to see you. Deku replied, what? I mean, I just want your opinion on my fighting style. Nejire is embarrassed, and Deku is shocked. Tell her, yeah, I think I can make some time. Nejire tell him, great, let's see you at sports festival, and just hang up. Deku's face turned slightly red because what she told him first, and his classmates are asking, what's going on here? Meanwhile, in UA, Nejire's face is beef red, and that don't go unnoticed. Because of her classmates saw her on the phone, then her reaction, they immediately realized that she's talking with that boy. So they start poking her, and eventually she spit it out and tell them, yes, she was talking to him, but they are just friends. They asked for more details, specifically when they met, and basically told them what happened in last part and the beginning of this part. But she removed the part that Deku doesn't have a family name, or family in that matter. Then they tell her that she have to do great in the sport festival because he will be watching. Nejire's face is still red and she nods. After that, a couple days went by, then Deku decides to buy the tickets early, but is unable to because the website is not allowing him to buy, and it's because he doesn't have a family name. So he decided to buy them the old-fashioned way, and they were sold at UA. Shocker. So he went to buy one. At first they ask him what he's doing here, and after he explained his situation, they apologize and let him buy one. But right before he exits, he hears someone calling for him, and it's Nejire. She tell him what he's doing here, and he explained the situation. She tell him, yeah, that sucks. Oh, hi Mirio. Deku tell her, Mirio. He look behind him and see Mirio inches away from him. He jumps back and asks who is he. Nejire explained that he's a classmate. Then Deku tell her, what's up with you and your friends? Don't you guys know about personal space? Mirio apologizes if he stutter him or interrupt something. Nejire's face turned beef red. Deku slightly red. Nejire tell him, no, you're not interrupting anything. Then Mirio tell her, good, but I don't know your name, pointing at Deku. Deku reply, I'm Izuku. Just Izuku. Mirio tell him, alright, just call me Mirio. And the one behind me is Tamaki. Deku reply, well, nice to meet you, I guess. Well, I have to go, and I think you guys have to go back to your training, so good luck. They nod and Nejire tell him, see you at the sport festival. Deku nod and walks off. Nejire kept looking at him. Then Mirio tell her, don't worry, he will not disappear. Nejire's face turned red and tell him, it's not like that. Mirio reply, are you sure? She tell him, yeah, I'm sure. Then she tell to herself, I am? And I think I'm going to stop it right here. So what do you think of it, guys? What will happen next? What will happen in Sport Festival? Leave your thoughts and comments down below. And if you like it, drop a like, it helped me a lot. And if you're new, subscribe. There is more videos like this coming. And like always, guys, peace